Well, folks, it's time to kick it old school. So you can feel cool. Give it to me, baby. Baby. Yeah.
Back to another episode of Rob's Sports Center. If you are an old school basketball fan, a new school basketball fan, or just a sports fan in general, then you are on the right channel. As you can see by the title, man, I'm coming back with a Larry Bird and Michael Jordan video for the day, but it's a different type of video though. So the title of this video is Michael Jordan explains why Larry Bird is better than LeBron James. And based off that poll I did yesterday in my community tab, who would you guys take in a 7-game series, LeBron or Bird? I think at the time I was at 42 votes last time I checked it. All was straight Larry Bird, so it was 100% Larry Bird. But y'all know how we do over here, man. I ain't gonna do too much talking. We finna go ahead and get this video popped. Get your popcorn. Matter of fact, get your popcorn ready now. Get your popcorn ready. Also, I want to see in the comments, Team Bird or Team Jordan or Team both. I'm Team both. But let me stop talking out there.
Epic battles in the court. But did you know that despite being fierce rivals, MJ himself didn't hold back in acknowledging Bird's greatness? And you won't believe what he had to say about LeBron James.
I'm a fan of his. I love watching him play. But it's, as you can see, our league is starting to expand on very talented players. And, I think he's made his mark. He will continue to do so over a period of time. But when you start the comparisons, I think it is what it is.
The MJ versus LeBron debate is a topic that ignites fiery discussions across every corner of the basketball universe. Who's the GOAT? Who's the real king of the court? Well, according to Michael Jordan, there's a twist to this tale.
I want to say too, one thing I do love to see, I love to see how much respect Jordan got for Bird, how much respect Bird got for Jordan and vice versa. You know what I mean? Like a lot of those guys back in the days, man, they went to war with each other. You know what I mean? So in the process of battle, they all earned each other's respect. When you hear them talk about each other, man, they talk so highly and they go to bat for each other. Like whenever you get to saying this person and these newer style players are better players than the past, they stand up for each other. And they say, man, look at what JJ Redick did with Larry Bird when he made those comments. You got Dominique Wilkins that jumped on it. You got Michael Cooper that jumped on him. So they ride for him. And I'm a fan of both new school and old school, but I'm a very big advocate for the old school just because those guys were built different back then. But I do love the respect that they show each other. I think that's dope.
Involves Larry Legend himself. Michael Jordan isn't casting his vote for himself or even for the modern day giant, LeBron. No. His pick, the one and only Larry Legend Bird. And there's more to this claim than meets the eye. But wait, rewind a bit. Before Michael Jordan took over the league, two names ruled the NBA world. The
Magic
Johnson and Larry Bird. The greatest rivals in the history of the sport, perhaps even comparable to the kind of rivalry that was shared between Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo in the football world. These two legends, who are often overshadowed in modern debates, are undeniably part of the top 10 greatest players of all time.
Hold up. I will say this. When it comes to Jordan, a lot of times, I don't think that he's not giving his just dues. When it comes to Bird, majority of the time, he is not giving his just dues. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion. What you guys think about that?
Yet, they faded from the forefront of contemporary basketball chatter. Back in the day, they reigned supreme, flaunting their dominance as the best players in the league. With Michael Jordan's entrance into the scene in 1984, the winds of change began to blow. Over his illustrious career, Bird faced off against MJ and the Bulls 34 times, with Larry Celtics emerging victorious 23 times. But beneath the stats, Bird sensed a shift in the air, an arrogance that emanated from Jordan, signaling a new era. The Duel of Legends. Bird and Jordan locked horns in epic duels. Jordan, in his quest for supremacy, faced an uphill battle against Bird's Celtics. But despite struggles, he showcased jaw-dropping performances, and the respect between the two was undeniable, though often unspoken, as Jordan paid homage to Bird's role in molding his own legacy. Now, even though MJ didn't have a better head-to-head record, he still acknowledged Bird's influence. Bird played a role in MJ becoming, to some, the greatest of all time. As Bird bid farewell to the game, Jordan must have breathed a sigh of relief, yet his respect didn't waver. In a world where LeBron James reigns as a titan of the game, he couldn't sway Michael Jordan's stance on Larry Bird. MJ crowned Bird as the superior small forward in NBA history. When the Game Was Ours. In the pages of When the Game Was Ours, Jordan offers us a glimpse into his reverence for Larry Bird. He paints a clear picture of Bird's impressiveness, not just compared to his contemporaries, but also those who came after. MJ says, Larry was a debate. He still is. People ask me all the time who my all-time 5 top players are. And when I start saying...
My honest opinion, though, when it comes down to a lot of these debates, when, you know, like with the LeBron versus some of the guys from the past, the things that, like I say, bro, the things that stands out to me about the legends of the past, it ain't necessarily the skill, athleticism, whatever. It's just the mindset, bro. Like, these guys didn't take days off. These guys didn't do load management. These guys didn't miss games just for the sake of missing them if they know that they could play. These guys would come out there, if they were able to, and play with a torn ACL, a torn Achilles, a torn meniscus, like a broken collarbone. These guys will come out there and play through that. These newer age players like LeBron and a lot of these other cats, it's just to me, I just don't think they built like that. They're just not warrior-like players. You know, skilled, talented, you know, athletic, but not warrior-based players. So that's where, for me, the debate is, it just favors the older generation.
Larry, they interrupt me. They say, you've got to be kidding me. You can't play with LeBron James. I tell them, you guys don't get it. Larry's far better than any small forward can play the game. And to be honest, I'm still not sure if he is a small forward or a power forward. And while many have crowned LeBron as the greatest small forward of all time, Jordan's stance remains resolute. The doubters have all tried to challenge MJ's perspective, but when it comes to Bird, Jordan's conviction stands tall. In fact, the 6-time NBA champion declared that LeBron would be no match for Larry Legend in a 1v1 showdown. As of now, LeBron is firmly planted in the greatest of all time debate, squaring off against Michael Jordan. But rewind to 2009 when LeBron, despite his heroic feats for the Cleveland Cavaliers, hadn't yet clinched an NBA championship.
I gotta chime in one more time too. So check this out, right? So in my mind, I'm picturing, as soon as they said a one-on-one between Bird and Bron, right? So everybody's thing is they're looking at the highlight, they're looking at the flashiness, they're looking at the crowd, all that type of stuff, right? But my thing is this: if the goal is to put the ball in the bucket, right? What does it matter how I put it in there? What does it matter if I shoot a standing three-pointer? What does it matter if I shoot a moving three-pointer? What does it matter if I shoot a turnaround three-pointer? And that I go back to this. If it's in an ISO game, one-on-one, you say, clear out the lane, I'm finna work this dude over. So if you look at Kyrie finessing, you know, with the dribbling and the crossovers. But if you look at those highlights, how many of those players are he really crossing over? Because a lot of those guys are sticking with him. He just makes a tough shot. Prime example, go back and look at the finals the year that they won, that the Cavaliers won. Look at when Klay was holding him. Klay was holding good defense on him, dude. Like, it's just he was making difficult shots. That's what it ultimately comes down to. So my thing is this: if I'm not having to, if I can get to my spots, I know how to get to my spots. I'm not trying to cross this dude over necessarily. Now, if I can, yeah, obviously, but I'm expecting this defender for the most part to be a pretty solid defender. So if I'm very conscious with how much dribbling I'm doing, with how much energy I'm doing, and I'm getting high percentage shots that's not that contested due to me, you know, driving and penetrating, what does it matter if it looks like this or if it looks like that? You know, what does it matter? Because this might have won championships and this didn't win championships. This looked flashy. This didn't look flashy. This was effective. This was somewhat effective. You kind of get what I'm saying?
It was the time when Jordan threw this intriguing comparison. Of course, if Bird and LeBron had a hypothetical one-on-one clash, Jordan would support Bird. But let's be real. This is a debate that gets our blood pumping. On one hand, you've got LeBron with his otherworldly athleticism. On the flip side, Bird's deadly shooting prowess could light up the court. It's a toss-up that's sure to spark endless discussions. But remember, retrospect often changes how we see things, even in interesting matchups. Many NBA enthusiasts today might lean towards LeBron's side in this matchup. After all, he has transformed into an icon in his own right. LeBron versus Larry. We've seen LeBron James show his incredible dominance in both his athleticism and his long career. But let's not forget Bird. The 6'9" forward carved out his own place in history. He did this not by being physically strong, but by having exceptional skills and making a big impact on the game. Now, you might wonder, what's the secret sauce that makes Larry Bird stand tall? Larry didn't have LeBron's athletic ability, but he had a great shooting stroke and a basketball IQ that could change the game. But here's the kicker. MJ's comparison between LeBron and Larry comes from a different era. This was when LeBron was still finding his footing as a young star in Cleveland. Think about it. Even back then, being mentioned in the same breath as Larry Bird speaking volumes about LeBron's skills. Fast forward to the present, LeBron has created an illustrious tale of his own. He's evolved into the epitome of greatness, solidifying his claim as one of the greatest small forwards in the history of the NBA. The GOAT debate. Now, the question who reigns as the NBA's...
And one more thing too, for any of the, if it's younger fans watching this, or if it's older fans, that's watching this, that's LeBron fans. And when I make these videos, guys, it's not to spite anybody, because I have a respect for LeBron James. I was having the conversation with my coworker about that. I do have a respect, but when we're talking and debating, because sports is an art, we have that right to do that. I just give you my opinion on these debates, and it's not to knock LeBron. It's not to come on here and say, "Oh, LeBron is a crybaby." It's not to say any of that. None of that can take away from who LeBron is and his contribution to the game. He is by far one of the greatest to play the game. That's undeniable. But I just want to make sure I clarify that I'm not doing this in terms of trying to discredit LeBron and who he is and his contribution to the game at all. You know what I mean? We just having debates, and me having these debates is me saying the things that I say, but it's not out of spite. It's for the sake of debate.
Breath is Larry Bird speaking volumes about LeBron's skills. Fast forward to the present, LeBron has created an illustrious tale of his own. He's evolved into the epitome of greatness, solidifying his claim as one of the greatest small forwards in the history of the NBA. The GOAT debate. Now, the question who reigns as the NBA's ultimate player remains a firestorm of debate. Could LeBron James inch ahead of Michael Jordan? The answer has recently gained momentum, especially with LeBron's conquest of a hollow record. LeBron James has been carving his name in the records of history. He recently became the NBA's leading scorer, surpassing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's record from almost 40 years ago. This isn't just an achievement, it's a testament to LeBron's prolonged dominance over the game. And with his record-breaking accomplishment, LeBron James made his stance clear. He doesn't shy away from the GOAT debate, boldly asserting himself among the greatest to ever grace the hardwood.
As he should.
I'm always going to take myself against anybody that has ever played this game. But everyone is going to have their favorite. Everyone is going to decide who the favorite is. I know what I bring to the table every single night and what I can do on this floor. It's this unwavering self-belief that fuels the fire of debate. But let's be real. Comparing LeBron and Jordan is like comparing apples and oranges. Their eras, challenges, and achievements are worlds apart. Michael Jordan paved his legacy with a game that looked very different from the one LeBron navigates today. The tale of LeBron and Jordan runs parallel, but never intersects. Their careers never saw a face-off on the court, as Jordan bid farewell for the last time just before LeBron stormed into the league in 2003. And when it comes to numbers, this debate is a never-ending reel of stats. Over 15 seasons, Jordan averaged 30.1 points, 6.2 rebounds, and 5.3 assists. In comparison, LeBron has had 27.2 points, 7.5 rebounds, and 7.3 assists across 20 seasons and counting. Numbers don't lie.
And one thing too, guys, I also want to point out the fact too, is that you got to understand one thing. Jordan played what was it, 3 years in college? So, and he was planning on coming back for a fourth year, but his coach told him he think that he should go pro. So look at what he done within that time frame. And take into consideration that this dude retired and came back. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, when you look at that, Mike only played 15 seasons. Brian played 20 plus seasons, right? So it's like, obviously he's played 6 or 7 more seasons than, I'm just speaking in terms of, because we know LeBron ain't retiring this year or probably next year. He's played that many more seasons. So obviously you would assume, and it's not a defensive based league, you would assume that he would be topping the charts in that. You know what I mean?
The championship argument? It's Jordan's perfect 6-0 record in NBA Finals versus LeBron's 4 titles in 10 trips. Jordan's domination, exemplified by leading the Chicago Bulls to 2 three-peats in the 90s, stands as an impressive feat. However, LeBron's consistency in reaching the finals showcases his enduring greatness. Renaming the MVP award after Jordan is also a testament to his impact. With 5 MVP trophies, he left his mark. LeBron, with 4 MVPs, isn't far behind. Now, LeBron James, often under the microscope, defies the boundaries of time and age. At 38, he's still scaling heights that were once thought impossible for players in their twilight years. His longevity has become an undeniable hallmark of his legacy, giving him a clear edge in areas like career points, assists, and rebounds. Dallas Mavericks legend Dirk Nowitzki's words echo many sentiments. It's tremendous that he can still play like this in year 20. His athleticism is incredible, and I'm happy for him. I always say Michael Jordan is the GOAT, but I'm sort of running out of arguments for Michael. Get this, even Nowitzki, a strong Michael Jordan fan, struggles to argue against LeBron's greatness. The Jordan-Bird-LeBron debate is a puzzle that never ceases to amaze. Michael Jordan likes Larry Bird because they have a history, but LeBron's long career shows he is great too. And as we wrap up this intriguing discussion on why Michael Jordan rates Larry Bird over LeBron James, let's take a moment to reflect on some of the voices from the community. One user passionately expressed, "I take Bird every day, all day. Bird is the perfect team player, leader, and a guy who can do it all." And another individual dived in with an undeniable point. Larry Bird won MVP 3 times in a row with the entire dream team in the friggin' league. Marinate on that.
That's facts.
The world of NBA legends and players who were terrified of Larry Bird? Well, don't miss out. Your next move should definitely be hitting play on this next video.
Oh, they got one about when Larry Bird took it personal. I didn't know that. I'm about to react to that too. But yeah, man, the players from back then, bro, they just was different. You know, like they just was built different, man. That's ultimately what it comes down to, bro. But as you guys can see, man, that is it for this video, man. If you did enjoy this video, do me a big favor, man. Smash that thumbs up button. Like I always say in every outro now, since I start implementing the end card. Right here, you should have my most recent video. You can go check that out. Then right here, you would have a video that based off of you watching this video and any other videos, they're gonna recommend this. So I recommend you go check both of them out if you haven't, because they both bangers. I don't think that you would regret it. And I'll see you guys in the next episode of Rob Sports Center.